Good morning, happy Sunday, and thanks for joining us again for the Sunday Football Review. Week 1 was a bit of a stumble, I think, for everybody across the board, except the Buckeyes. Buckeyes showed them how it is, but let's be real. That's week 2 for them, and it wasn't really much of a challenge. As far as the NFL goes, though, some came out victorious, but most really stumbled. Rough for first week. But we'll be back to our regular program. You'll be able to join us for the Reactions channel back next Sunday, but we're kicking right into football. With that being said, who should take the center stage when we discuss our reflections of last week and how some folks had a rough start? You know who would be quite vocal and have something to say? He wants the beacon right now. Give him like Tyreek Hill has something to say.
Out on third down.
Oh, get Flacco off here, Doug.
What? You want him? That's my honest opinion. If it's third and short, he's not a power back. I be telling him that in the locker room, but he a power back. I love Devon though, but if I'm being honest, like that's why you got Jalen Wright. That's why you got Ollie Gordon for those kind of situations.
At the same time, you're not the coach, but you can tell the dynamic is there's doubt and questions of authority and leadership here. Devon Achane is one of the first picks of like everybody's fantasy team. It's
my fantasy.
one of the golden gooses of the league. And yes, maybe when you do have such studs and you can't make something happen, it does kind of start from the top and you got to start asking questions. But also a lot of this dynamic is Tyreek and his mouth. Like, how do you think that feels when you go to like the player and he's like, they gave you the ball. They should not have given you the ball. And he's like, oh, cool. Let me put my cleats on next to you again today and tomorrow.
Notice how Kansas City doesn't miss Tyreek Hill.
That was the big takeaway. I'm so glad you said it because that was kind of an underling here. It's like, dude, great teams succeed in your absence.
You want to know who misses each other more? Probably Tyreek Hill. I think there's like a stat too. He hasn't caught.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like Tyreek definitely misses Kansas City more.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like he hasn't caught a pass over.
I bet you that's the resentment. Is I left and became nothing.
He's trying to very not so subtly talk his way off the team to get traded.
You know, it is funny, like the dynamic of how people had like polar opposite. I mean, obviously 50-50, somebody's winning, somebody's losing. So some people had a really great week. Others should have won, like the Browns, and ended up just being losers, as they always are. But how it must feel when, like, you know, you couldn't just swallow the pill and deal with the circus of Kansas City, and now you're in Miami and things are crumbling apart. Because it's so funny, like, polar opposite. What was the other experience? Here's Patrick Mahomes getting ready with me week 2. All you had to do was deal with this and you could be a champion.
With me for my NFL Week 1 game. The referees just absolutely blew my back out. It hurts to sit, but I loved it. Anyways, this is actually my brother Jackson's room. Travis and Taylor just got married. Little does she know, the entire defense ran a train on him in the locker room. Andy Reid even got in on him. Slay.
Bro. He looks like
it looks like
he looks like his
Magic
brother
Johnson's son.
I was gonna say it looks like his brother.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So all you had to do was deal with that, and then you know you'd be a Super Bowl winner. Now you've got Twig McDaniels running the running the show. It's got to be tough. So it's not just Tariq. It's this like dynamic throughout the locker room. Like, how do you think Tua deals with something like this?
I'd say the good news and the positive is I don't see how it could be worse. And I also believe in the coaches and players to get it fixed. I'll call it what it is. It wasn't, embarrassing, not anything that paying fans sign up for.
Wow,
that would be a rough. Honestly, though, I know we're dunking on him though, but like to be like the professional coach and your team's just getting dunked on,
and then they're like, "Tell me about it."
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I don't think McDaniels is that good of a coach. I think he's more of a coordinator, Bill. But like that, like we don't live in that reality where we're the coach standing there being like, "It's 30-6. My guy just threw 3 picks. He's a concussion away from coming out of here in a wheelchair. And then my star wide receiver is throwing literally anything under the bus that he's driving, speeding too, by the way, while he's driving it, and then getting arrested for it. And like
game day.
I'm not the biggest McDaniels fan, but I'm not a big McDaniels hater. I'm just more like, I just don't think he's that good of a coach. But to be that guy watching your team just get eviscerated, and it's not like Grambling State playing Ohio State. We know what the deal is. We did this for $5 million to support our university. Nope. this is your professional job and you are getting worked. And there's nothing you can do. Like, there's nothing you do. Your seat, literally, it's like boiling water week by week. It's just getting hotter and hotter. And you know it because you saw them turn the stove on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your standpoint, why is it that when you do have turnovers, they happen in bunches? Do you think, is it you pressing or?
I wouldn't say I'm pressing. I would say it's part of the game. Like you obviously don't want to turn it over. I thought that was a wild comment that I turned the ball over in bunches. That's crazy. It just so happened that's what happened today. Like,
Right.
it was what it was.
I'll be honest. Sometimes it feels like the audacity of these guys interviewing. I'm just like, hey, why'd you throw 5 picks? Did you not think 4 was enough? And I have to be professional.
Right.
Like, I cannot be like snarky.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, what's crazy is like they actually have to go to media training. So they're
Yes.
taking classes on when somebody takes the fork and twists, like,
When somebody point blankly says, dude, you weren't just bad, you were really, really bad today." You have to basically be like, yeah, I mean, that's God's grace or just whatever. You know, like just accept it and like be cordial. That's why it's great. I love it when like, and two is a professional. He's like a true, like he's not going to like say anything outrageous. Tyreek Hill would. One of these times I just want one of them to be like, dude, you look dorkier than my head coach. You never threw a football.
right.
Now they won't. Now at the same time, I would look into and be like, it's a fair question. What was that today?
At the same time, though, it isn't one. People have off days, whatever.
Mhm.
It didn't
the
look
game.
like he didn't. He didn't look like he didn't belong.
Mhm.
It's not like he didn't look like a professional. And part of the problem is, again, the Browns. We can't get off the ground. And what is one thing I've said to you through all the terrible chapters we've lived through? It's so much of this is the environment in the locker room. And so Tua's taking jabs. You've got A-Chain's literally not even being interviewed.
I was
There
like-
isn't even a clip of me to be like, him. At least Tua could retort. And he's like, this is something we're working on. I mean, it's really not something I can just move on from when someone says he wants to leave the team.
Yeah.
That I don't think I had that clip, but there's another interview where Tua's like, it's a work in progress. Like, we're not
Right.
best friends, but we got to work on this because, you know, he literally did say he wanted to leave the team, and now we still got to go back in the locker room. We didn't even talk to A-Chain, and he's taking strays.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you have the pieces. So much of this is direction. And again, I understand it starts from the top. And that's why, to your point earlier, why McDaniels' seat is so hot.
Yeah.
Like, one, he needs to realize, look in the mirror, you have to work twice as hard to gain the respect of physical titans. Just simply. It's like, what, you're going to yell us around? And so you have to get over that hurdle to begin with, because there's this physical dynamic that really shouldn't affect anything, but it's a physical sport. Like, you look at Andy Reid and it's like, yeah, you can't take any of these people, but at least your presence isn't down here and we're losing. It's one of those, if your focus during the offseason is what that this was a major complaint of this year throughout the roster, is our coach's major focus in the offseason, preseason, is who gets to play the special song in the locker room.
Yeah.
Whoever had the special day. It's like half these, understand the demographics of that roster. You've got hardcore Alabama bumpkin music, country music, and rap. And I'm sure that has an effect when it's like you give it to the O lineman today and that's your focus. We just got smoked. We're not ready for the preseason. Half the people here don't know our plays, but we're here in, Old Country Road. And then the next day it's now we're popping bottles and listening to who knows, 6-7. And now it's we're ripping it the other way. We still don't know our plays, and we don't even know who's steering this ship, but we got our music. It's like, dude, you are focused in the wrong direction. You could keep it fun when the numbers are dominating. You can't have that.
I just don't think he's built to be a head coach. Like, I think it's just that kind of cold hard truth. Like, at first it was cool and quirky a little bit, and it's like he's a quirkier Stefanski in my opinion. Like he's not a bad coach,
Yeah.
but there is a limit to him, and he was labeled a very smart genius like coach. And it's like, listen, McVay and Shanahan, like Shanahan's, I would consider a very good coach that just hasn't won the Super Bowl yet, you know. But it's like I see him get these quarterbacks out of nowhere, and he's either A, resurrect their career, or like B, can produce it. He took the last pick in the draft, Brock Purdy, and it's like, yeah, now he's got some mega contract. And it's like Tua went to Bama. I don't think Tua's a bad quarterback. I think he's a bit overrated, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback. But it's like McDaniels has talked at as like this genius like coach, and it's like, no, I don't think he is. I think he's probably a pretty good coordinator at best. You know, kind of like the Stefanski thing, kind of like in that range. I think like his motivations. I won't say his motivations, but like his I guess motivations, yeah, for like his players. It's just like off. It's like it doesn't respect them. And
Right.
again, it's like you said, to your point, you're not seeing the results on the field. So maybe he tried to like change it up, be like, oh, let's boost morale this way. And it's like Nick Saban's not a big guy. Nick Saban's 5'6".
Right.
But it's like he walks in the room, it's like that's a presence.
That's
notice
yes,
it.
bingo.
It's like McDaniels, like he doesn't have a presence. Like he doesn't look like the leader of men. He looks
Right.
like he could lead.
No,
a
no.
subsection.
Here's the truth. Jim Tressel literally is the exact stature of Bill Gates entering a room.
Correct.
One gets pied on the street, the other corrals titans.
Yeah.
It is a presence thing. It's
not just
a
presence
stoicism.
like physically, but it's that stoicism's a great word for it. It's like Saban isn't a physical titan like individual, but like his stoicism, his seriousness, his like in your face kind of like, not like in a bad way in your face, but just like, I'm here, this is what we're doing, this is how we're going to execute it. It's like everybody else around him, boom, boom, boom. Like I see the line, I see it paved out. McDaniels, it's like, I think like he got the Miami and he started getting like the Miami like drug dealer hair, started dressing like it. And it's like, dude, like I don't think you get it. Like that's not football. Like you're not a finance bro.
right.
Like you shouldn't be coming off that way as a head coach. You know, he's always walking around like, just like, I don't know. His demeanor just doesn't.
Well, even you really
is.
triggered something in me. It's like you're not even running like an office full of accountants. And then I start thinking of the Wolf of Wall Street. It's like even the Wolf of Wall Street recognized business quirks in suits get motivated stronger with like a versus like, we tried our best today and it was one of those kind of days.
Yeah, it's like he's almost like too laid back to be a coach.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I've always viewed Stefanski. It's like I never see Stefanski give like a bunch of like really big rallying speeches, or not like even know to like give a good speech now, or they don't need a speech. They could do it themselves. They could like rally themselves up. They don't need to hear me say, hey, get hyped.
Well, like last year, I think it was Jameis Winston who was like the hype man for our team, always giving like some sort of pregame speech to the team.
Yeah, we let a guy who hadn't been on our team at all finally show up and start to be that. Meanwhile, we have Myles Garrett, others getting paid tons of money, not doing those speeches.
Right.
It's been I don't want to get on the Browns case, but like that's always been my issue with the Browns. It's like there's not, from the player standpoint to even the coach's standpoint, there's not like that like
leader
tone setter.
Yeah.
Let alone not even the best player, but it's just kind of sets the tone. Like this is what we're rallying behind. And there's none of that in Miami. And you're just kind of seeing that.
It's so true. And now, we've kind of laid it all out. It's clear. The seat's hot.
Oh, yeah.
But what makes it even hotter, honestly, like what I close it out with is that I don't care what you say. Like Tua, man, is he limping to the finish line in some respects? Maybe, but you don't have a weak roster. Like
No,
I would
don't
take
think they
the
do.
Dolphin. Like let's say we're playing Madden, or we're doing fantasy, and I'm like a Croots, and I just like pick a majority of my team, one team. I would for sure commit to the Dolphins 10 times before like the Jags or even the Panthers. Like I get you've got some players there that are stars, barely. You can't do anything with them. I think what makes McDaniel's seat even hotter is like your roster ain't bad. and you're
Right.
not making something happen with it. And in fact, you're getting dunked on.
It's kind of the Cleveland situation as well. It's
Right.
like you don't have that bad of a roster outside of one spot. Now, I will say quarterback, even though I like Joe, but it's like there's not a firmness at that position. It's
Right.
not like, oh, this is a 4 or 5 year guy we have here now. And it's like it's sort of like that situation where it's like there's the roster around, you have pieces there.
Right.
The problem is you're getting worse year to year. And again, that's like my like Stefanski thing. It's like year to year, I'm not seeing consistent improvement, or like just any like we're plateaued here, like we're right here. We just need that one extra. It's like no, it's getting worse. Like if you were to look at the skewed thing, and it's like the same with Miami, but it comes back to like that. When I hear these guys are genius coaches, like, oh, they're whiz kids, they're like so smart, they're so great, and it's like, okay, how come each year we're not doing as well and we're progressing downward?
Well, I think maybe an element of this is also a sentiment to the league, right? So what is the league? 32 teams, 100 guys each team. So you're taking like the 3,200 best players in the country. And what I'm really recognizing off of your comment is the burn off point. That there's the flashing stars that really take it to the playoffs and go to the no, I mean just like teams. Like teams that blast through to the playoffs, Super Bowl, whatever. The burn off point is the playoffs. Like you only have like 2 or 3 teams that are like don't even have a chance by week 5. It's like you're bye-bye.
Yeah,
watch us all play.
Yeah, I agree.
And so like you're saying the Dolphins, the Browns, the takeaway from this is it really is that 1 or 2 players that takes you from 1 or 2 games out from the playoffs to at least the outer ring of the playoffs, if not a legitimate contender to the end. And that really goes to me, that's like you're seeing the pool for what it is.
Yeah.
There's only that much talent. These teams that are caught in that rough middle, it isn't that they aren't a roster of professionals. There's 3 or 4 teams at the bottom where it's like what is
your
this
Saints,
joke?
Those teams like that this
Right.
year. No, I agree with this point. I do think there's becoming like a very like a fork in the road of like you're either these teams over here, which like you could the 8 to 10 teams you could kind of guess you're like, yeah, those are probably all playoff teams. And then the other ones over here where it's like maybe one of them will sneak it their way in. And that's about it. And it depends on like if the rookie quarterback's good or like Daniel Jones somehow resurrects his career like a Sam Darnold did last year. And it's like, well, I don't know how good this team's actually going to be with him if he actually has like a good year in a new system.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like by week 6 there's a big shakeup in Miami. If it gets like bad, if it gets really bad.
I can see it. But this is also a perfect redemption opportunity. Like the Buckeyes, like do or die, kick it into gear. Like you said, you've got a couple games.
I appreciate your optimism, but I don't see it. I think because
we'll
going
see.
off of your thing, I just think completely lost the locker room. I think McDaniels has completely lost the locker room.
I think you've lost Tyreek, and Tariq is a wrecking ball.
They're going to come to a decision. So I will give you this point. I think they'll move on from Tyreek by the trade deadline, and then they'll give McDaniels the rest of the year to see what like happens with that. But it's like there's something burning there, and it's like, yeah, this relationship's not repairing.
No,
it's not repairing at all.
Nope. So as far as the league goes, just like I said, rough week across the league. And this play, I just want to highlight. Here's DK Metcalf as the offense experiences a hard set. This is just such an athletic moment. I just want to highlight how cool this is.
Receivers, and this time
so we got a pick off, interception.
Oh, this is from a few years
Watch
ago.
how he just.
Dude, he's a huge guy, dude. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
I just can't believe. Just turns on the Jets, dude.
He's like 6'5", 6'6", I think.
Those strides are insane. All right, so now really get into some chaos. The Bills game against the Ravens was an incredible time. Loved it. And it was a dogfight to the end. To me, it really showed what professional programs look like as a Browns fan that logs in each week to just see people that
It's like that fork in the road thing that you brought up. It's like you have your teams over here, and then Teams, oh yeah.
And then real professional
like that.
teams.
Those teams where it's like, oh yeah,
And
year in, year out, you know exactly where they're going to be, how late into the season they're going to be playing. It's just depending if they're going to make the February game.
Right.
Like that's really where you're at now.
So I don't know if you caught the end of the game. Of course, the Bills pull it out, dogfight to the end, great game. And I don't know if you caught while they were leaving the field, some Bills fans kind of made a little bit of an incident with the Ravens.
I seen him slap D-Hop.
Oh, yeah.
He slapped me. And he said he talking. So
I do not blame Lamar at all.
You gotta think in those situations. We got security out there, let security handle it. But I just let my emotion get the best of me. But hopefully it don't happen again. I learned from that.
Perfect media answer. I mean, you got to give it to him.
He's trained well.
But what's crazy is how many people lost their mind and they're like, where's his suspension? Like, he assaulted a fan. This is absurd. So here's a slow-mo from somebody in the stands from the back. And it's like you could see why this kid had to come out later and apologize. Like, if you've never worn a helmet, you don't realize that pop hurts. Like, that isn't like nothing.
I mean, you definitely hit someone in the head.
Yeah.
And your excuse is, well, he had a helmet on. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, that's what you did.
So, of course, I love your point. He managed it like a perfect media move. And, of course, thank goodness, like, nothing came of it.
Nothing came of it. I agree, dude. I was like, do not. I knew they weren't going to suspend him, but I was like, dude, don't even fine him.
Right.
Like NFL, shame on you for not doing anything more for the players.
Right.
Like there's already enough going on. Like you're going to let like a fan just like pop a player.
Yeah, no, you need to set the standard. I mean,
like, I can't believe the player retaliated. Like, oh no, we're not going to do that.
If the policies you're trying to set are like discourage people from storming the field and everything else, like you have to have a zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Protect the players.
Yeah. Protect the players and just don't feed into it.
Right.
Like don't feed or you're gonna have like a Gilbert Arenas situation like the NBA where he just goes up like 10 rows in the bleachers to fight a fan.
Right. So
can you imagine if Myles Garrett did that?
Oh, it'd be rough. It'd be rough. I mean, even a Mason Rudolph really couldn't handle it.
I was gonna say Myles would take off the helmet.
On field, that was scary.
Right.
Imagine just going up getting a fan. Just your typical. I was in the Muni Lab 4 hours
just like
ago.
that basketball brawl.
Yeah, like Gilbert Arenas. Like just like at that moment, like Myles Garrett just walks up there after a guy who's just in the Muni Lab for like 5 hours, and this guy's adrenaline and Myles Garrett's adrenaline is like through the roof. He's not tired that play.
He's not. No, he's not. So but just before this, casual fan assault as they leave the field. As the players do, they shake hands and, give their condolences, congrats, goodbye, whatever. I don't know if you caught the handshake between Josh Allen and Lamar. It was pretty noteworthy.
There goes Lamar Jackson and his dad hugging it out. Hold on a minute. Lamar is being picked up by his daddy and being fed milk through a baby bottle.
It's like, are they in a hot mic? Is it going to be like a nice, cheery, hey, we're going to see you guys again next down the road, something like that? Nope.
So, we don't need to make a big topic of it, but just to briefly mention the transitioning, the Browns are going to get walloped by this dynasty franchise. What makes this such a painful game, of course, for those that don't know, most should, that the Browns left to go to Baltimore, and we had the big win, the little crumb that they threw to Cleveland was that we got to keep the skid mark stain name Browns as they all left. And now that dynasty continues itself in Baltimore, and they had an interview where they asked Flacco, like, as a Super Bowl winning Ravens legend, but then they're also hosting you for the anniversary celebration of 30 years. Like, how does that make you feel?
You can take it however you want. If you're from Cleveland, you can take it one way, and if you're from Baltimore, you can, say it's not a big deal. It's just one of those things. Honestly, for me, it kind of makes it more exciting. We get to go in there when they're throwing, when they're having some people back, and just more ex-players, more eyes on you. It'll make it more interesting. But Joe, you ever?
God, I so bad want him to pull off the win.
Well, so that's what my comment was going to be is, we're kind of jumping ahead, but we're going to get to the 1:00 games here anyway. The only thing that kind of makes tuning in to watch mildly fun is there is no pressure.
No,
we are already expecting to lose. So any inkling of competition is already a win.
Dude, this Browns team shouldn't have any pressure on them for just about the entirety of the year. Like, you should go into these games being like, we're supposed to be awful. We shouldn't even be in this. Let's just try and ruin a Sunday. Let's just try and make it weird for them down as it gets near the end of the year. Kind of like last year's was. The only two people with pressure right now are AB and Stefanski. And if I'm a player, I'd be like, I don't care if they feel any pressure. This is for us and us alone. What I would say is I wish Flacco did make a comment, and I have nothing against Lamar, but if I was Flacco, I'd have been like, yeah, I mean, it's very nice of them to host their Super Bowl winning quarterback. They've had a hard time finding another one. I'd have just like laid it out like that.
Ooh.
And funny enough, like looking back, they made the complete right move moving off Joe. They made the complete right move. But it's if I were him, just to be cheeky, I'd be like, well, I mean, it is kind of nice for them to pick this week, knowing their Super Bowl quarterback came back into town.
Well, dude, I
would cook him like that.
I guarantee if we had drafted Lamar Jackson, he wouldn't be as good as he is. Because they did a great job developing him. They were all like, oh, he's just more of a running quarterback, not really a throwing quarterback. Dude's got all-around game.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take.
No, I agree. But it's just, one of those situations where it's just another franchise where developing quarterbacks is not easy, and there's plenty of those like that littered around the league.
Right.
When it comes to the Ravens thing, can I ask a question to you too, real quick? Why do we hate the Steelers so much more than the Ravens when the Ravens pulled this?
Because before this team left, they were our rival. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those you're looking at two franchises that were around from the beginning,
right?
And they're close to us. They're a factory city like we were. It's one of those.
Oh, we're very similar to Pittsburgh.
You like steel. We like steel. Well, we're called steel. Well, we're brown.
Yeah, well, shit on you.
So looking at the games we've got today, as we acknowledged, we kind of already went over the Browns game. Reviewing. So we're going to get to our parlay picks of the week so you can kind of get in on the money-making biz with us this week. But me and Doug both got cooked. We'll get to it, but we both had a pick. Mine was with the Commanders with Daniels, and Doug had a pick with the Packers with Jacobs, and we can't do them for this week's pick, even though we were the only ones to hit.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Because the game is over. But what a great game. I mean, got to hand it to the Packers. They really pulled one out and handled the game start to finish.
Some good primetime games so far to start the year.
For
You haven't really had a stinker yet. That's going to happen around week 3 or 4.
Yes.
You kind of have why are these teams playing? They've been pretty good to start the year.
Yeah. So looking at our picks for today, Sunday, Browns, Ravens, you got to go Ravens, but don't be surprised when the dogs pull one out from behind.
No, just because it's the 30th year, it's like, no. I'm mistakenly going hard Browns today.
Okay. I want the Browns. I want them to take a big Brown on the Ravens today. So I'm with Will.
Browns. Cleveland steamer.
Yeah.
I think the spread's at 11.5. It's going to be super bad.
So we had really bad news from the past week as a Browns fan. The only thing we should be rooting for is the Jags to lose, and somehow they pulled one out. So now we've got the Bengals, who should have totally gotten walloped by the Browns. They pulled one out because we beat ourselves.
They essentially did get walloped if you think about it.
They did.
If you just look at the box score, they got walloped.
Burrow, 8 points in fantasy. Whoa.
He threw for under 120 yards. They got to win. That might be one of the only times.
Our defense was solid.
That might be one of the only times he does that his whole career.
Yeah.
Throw under 120 yards and get a win.
Well, again, we held the game, just couldn't pull it through on offense. So you're going to see two kind of hopefully stinkers that just kind of hold it together.
Bringing back the stinkies.
I'm going with the Bengals only because as a Browns fan, I really want the Jags to lose. That's our first round draft pick, but then even more so, they gotta. They have the pieces. Get out of this funk.
God, would it be so ironic that the year we get a pick from Jacksonville, they actually win like 10 games, 10, 11 games, and be like unbelievable.
Right. Okay. Now looking at the Giants, Cowboys. The Cowboys are a more solid team than we give them credit for, or at least how we started, last week and everything. I think they're going to be more of they should have won. I mean, it was a tight game. It was a good game. They were not the better team,
really well against
but
Philly.
they played very well. I'm going to go Cowboys. Giants are solid, but I'm going to go Cowboys.
Like go New York. I'm going
York.
Dallas. I think New York. I think Russell Wilson's at the end of his line. I don't think he's going to do anything.
Yeah, that's what last week showed.
And I don't think he's playing bad. I just don't think he's going to be a spark they need. And sooner or later, they're going to want to see Jackson Dart.
I agree. Looking at the Bears, Lions. The Lions need to win this.
I think Detroit. Something's up with Chicago. Something's up with Caleb Williams.
Mhm.
He started off so well on script, and the instant he went off script, it was a totally different player. Like it's just like Detroit is like. I think they're really going to struggle with the new offense coordinator or defense coordinator to start the year. I think it's going to take them a bit to get into it. I'll take Detroit at home.
All right, looking at the Patriots, Dolphins, I think the Dolphins, like I said, have the better team, but I don't think they have their pieces put together. The Patriots have kind of just been slowly trying to put this team together, and I think they're headed in the right direction. I'm going to be pulling for the Patriots, even though it should be the Dolphins, but I think the Dolphins are in a funk.
Definitely New England. Definitely taking New England. I think Miami's a sinking ship right now. I think it's a sinking ship. It's burning. It's like the Titanic right now. It's not good.
La Playa is on fire. Okay, looking at the 49ers, Saints. The Saints didn't do as bad as I honestly thought they'd be, but if they beat the 49ers, it's because everybody got sick on their way to the game. I'm going with the 49ers.
Because there was a development like yesterday, the day before. Mac Jones is starting for the 49ers. Purdy's hurt for the
Purdy's
next 2 to 4
out
weeks.
this week.
Yeah, like turf toe.
I'm
still going to take the 49ers because I think the Saints are like in one of those like they might win 4 games this year.
Yeah.
So this very well could be
but
one
they're
of
not
them.
going to make it easy for people. I think that's going to be the experience of their season is they're not going to get a whole lot on the board.
They're just lost offensively. They're just so lost. They have no idea what to do with quarterback.
Yeah.
Like we think we have it bad. Like there's Spencer Rattler and Tyler Schuff. I don't even know who they are.
So one of the games that I think is actually going to be one of our more exciting games of the early 1:00 series, the Bills versus the Jets, got a little bit of a New York showdown, and the Jets showed in the Steelers game that they're not the team that you could just roll over like you've been able to the last 5 seasons. They're still not the victor, but I think it's going to be a better game than you realize. It's in New York. You've got a lot of fans that could be close. It's in the Jets stadium, but you're going to have a lot of Bills fans. It's going to get rowdy. People are going to be jumping on tables. Bills are going to win, but it's going to be a fun watch.
I think the Bills might win by 2 scores here.
That's what I mean. It's going to be closer than you think.
2 scores? I don't think that's close. I think for them, 14. I'm talking 14. 2.
Maybe, but against the Jets, we've been predicting way worse in the past.
Well, for me with the Jets, it's just I want to see more weeks of them consistently being like last week before I give them that kudos.
Sure.
It's the Justin Fields thing. I want to believe it. I want to have your optimism for him. I really do because I like Fields, but I don't know. I think Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo's going to.
I think Buffalo's
for sure win.
Handedly win that division.
Looking at the Seahawks and the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers showed he still has a little bit of tricks in his belt, his Batman belt.
He had a great game. I can't
did
even
he
hate on him.
But at the same time, he had something to prove, and more than anything, that tends to motivate people.
Dude, he was flexing on the Jets,
they
crazy. Wronged him, and I was like, dude,
you wronged them.
You unfortunately got hurt, which was an unfortunate thing. And then you just ended up being not that good when you came back. And it's their fault. I'm like, what is this victory lap you're taking? Yeah. I don't get it. That's the delusion he lives with. But he played a great game, so I can't hate on that. But
Seahawks, I think they are going to get a rough shake this season where they're going to be one of the top contenders that just can't beat the Titans. The Steelers are going to win this one. I think they are showing that they're going to be a strong franchise in our conference this year. And like I said, the Seahawks are going to really hold them to it, but I don't think they're going to come out victorious.
I'll give you that one too. I like your assessment on that. I'll go with Pittsburgh as well.
All right, looking at the Rams and the Titans, last of the 1 o'clock games. The Titans, you doubted me. I had hope for the Titans. I'm like, I think they are going to just keep it afloat. A solid 500 team, maybe a little bit over. They showed they can do that. They didn't come out successful. However, they aren't going to be a team that you could just walk in and steamroll. And we're in Tennessee, right? Right outside Nashville. Weather's got to be great today. 1 o'clock game. LA is the better team, but I think the Titans are gonna really hold them to it. But I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Rams too. I got Tennessee still winning over 5.5 games, but I just think they have 2 tough teams to start off. But I think they're gonna be a capable team.
Cool. Looking at the 4 o'clock games, Cardinals, Panthers. I think this gives the Cardinals an opportunity to really keep that trend going. You know, they've got one already on the board, and the Panthers are not going to make it that difficult of a time. But it's a 4 o'clock game, so, you know, you never know.
I just have the Panthers are like a Jets thing too, where it's like I just don't know what team I'm going to get. And you can say the same about Arizona, but I'm curious if Kyler has a better connection with Marvin Harrison in year 2 for him. So I'm going to go with Arizona.
Sure. All right, looking at the Broncos, Colts, 2 teams that showed up last week. You know,
I what to make of this game.
I don't either. I think it's definitely going to be a darn good game.
I know.
Personally, I think, don't get me wrong, the next game is going to be the hot game.
Oh, yeah.
But between this and the last one, 4 o'clock, this is the game to watch. I think this is going to be a tight fight, and whoever comes out on top with this one is really going to set a tone for.
I'm going to go Denver, man. I'm going to go Denver. Feeling it.
I do too. I mean, boy, the way they closed their season, they were just getting started.
Had a slow start. Daniel Jones is like the Justin Fields thing. I don't know if that was like a flash in the pan.
Right.
Week 1, let me show out, and then like completely revert back to how you can be in week 2. So I'm betting against him for that reason. So I hope he proves me wrong.
Right. Yeah. All right. This is going to be a hot one. We're getting a redemption arc here with the Eagles and the Chiefs at 425. Wouldn't it be awesome if the Eagles could just like keep the Chiefs off track?
I think they will.
I mean, there's a reality here where I think a lot of the momentum that helps the Chiefs is when you're going into a game and the Browns are beating you by just a few points. What keeps you going is you're literally 7-0.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm on a roll. And it allows you to kick into a game mode, a momentum, a mindset that, and now imagine that being your fuel, your entire football experience. And now you're 0-1. And now the guys that took it from you, 0-2. The guys that kept you up for the last 4 months, you couldn't sleep at night. Now you're 0-2. Boy, I don't know what that makes for the Chiefs. For the red, like they're a team that I think momentum is huge. Your team is taking out your team. Xavier Worthy flattened on the ground. Why? Because of your Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
One of the funny clips that would have been great, you know, I don't know if you've seen the memes where it's like the cut of Taylor on his podcast. And she's like, I was skipping through the house. Couldn't be more excited when we got Xavier Worthy. It was the greatest moment. I know we were both so excited. And he's just like seeing red, like,
I like how she's saying that though, as if she knew who Xavier Worthy was in college.
Yeah.
Like you had no idea. Like you had no idea he was a person.
You're excited? I'm excited. Woo!
She probably met him in real life. Was like, oh, I actually really liked him.
Yeah. So I think, you know, with him out on top of it, you're hobbling.
I'm going Philly. I really
100%. I'm hoping. All right, looking at our final game of the evening, our primetime game, Falcons Vikings. I really think it's the Vikings. You didn't think the Vikings were going to be of the same stride of last year, but they're showing they're definitely not going to be much slower. If anything, they're keeping up the pace, and the Falcons aren't going to make it hard for them. Prime time.
No, I think you got 2 kids who barely played at quarterback who've done pretty well so far.
Penix did a really good job.
Funny enough, McCarthy actually played 3 horrible quarters, and then in the 4th quarter decided to come alive and win that game for him. Like he was not doing well up until then, but. You know what? I'm back on the train. I'll follow Minnesota.
Hey.
So if they lose, you can blame me.
All right. Looking at our Monday games, I love that we're back to having a doubleheader in Monday.
Although having a Friday game was really nice.
Yeah,
like
but that had to go eventually. So looking at the 7 o'clock game, Buccaneers Texans. This is Buccaneers ball.
I'm worried about CJ Stroud in Houston. Something
Yeah.
seems off with the way he's playing.
I agree.
So I'm going with the quarterback here.
Well, it
I'm gonna
looks
go with
like it
Tampa.
wasn't a sophomore slump. It looks
That's the
like that
thing.
was a freshman luck.
Yeah, that was like that. That's the sad thing. It's like I didn't want to see that for him, but it's like something's off there. But I'll go with Baker.
Big one. Justin Herbert really dominated, but the Raiders showed that they're a little bit hotter of a squad than they've been in the past. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to be a dominant force this year.
I think the Chargers are going to win that division now.
I
Especially if
could
the
see
Chiefs
it.
Start off 0-2.
I could see it.
Start off 0-2. I think Chargers won this division in week 2.
But it's a great primetime game because I think it's
yeah.
going to be a fun competition. If you've got someone playing in it, I think you're going to see a lot of ball movement. And it might potentially become a shootout, or, it could be dominant forces meeting in the middle. Who knows?
This entire slate of primetime games again is really good.
Yes.
Like really solid.
I agree entirely. All right. This is some of the most exciting part of the show. The losers got to pay their costs, but at the same time, we're here to make you money. So first, let's review our parlay pick of last week. Me and Doug dominated for you folks, but Will came up short. Baker had a great game.
I was like, funny enough, I think of the 3 players, mine probably produced most offensively. Like in terms of efficiency, and it's like, yeah, just not yardage wise.
Yeah. But the incentive here is we are trying to make you money. We can't get close, but no cigar. So Will's got to pay his dues, and he's chugging his ice for us this morning.
I'm looking forward to this. At least it's warm.
That's right.
This is warm. I'm gonna do a documentary style for it. Wasn't it you last year who's sitting down for the one?
Maybe. I mean, I got pretty good at it by the end of the year.
I sat down on all of mine. I just sat here and chugged it. You can tell it's the first of the year.
Literally terrible. In so many
He looks
ways.
like he's about to fall backwards.
Like, wow, that was bad. And we're not even halfway. See, damn it, win for the people. That's the incentive. You folks don't recognize how miserable it is to start your Sunday off with that in your gullet.
No, because for the people out there that don't know, we started off with a round of golf and I played awful. So really, this is a step up. Really, I improved.
So we appreciate you joining us. The interesting week we've had, prayer.
I don't mean to cut you off, but man, that is a lot of sugar.
That's what makes it such a pain.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like, whoa.
So this week has been, blessings to Charlie Kirk, and hopefully we can find a way to unite this country. That being said, it's been a bit of a funk of a week, and we've been backloading all of our attention to our live show that you could find on Tuesday at the Rethink Tank. That being said, that's why we kind of had to postpone our Sunday morning show, but we'll be right back on our regular program next week. Sunday mornings, you'll catch us here live at 11 a.m. for our reactions channel. We'll be closing out with 2 more episodes left with our summer AI hilarious videos. Next week, I believe, is old people. Yep, we're going to be taking on old people. It's pretty fun.
You should have just named the geriatrics.
Yeah, you never know. It might be now. So be sure to join us next week. We'll be going live at 11, and then you'll have the Sunday football review here with us. Oh, I appreciate you guys hanging around with us because we didn't make you guys money yet. Here's our picks, the parlay picks for this week. Doug has gone with an anytime touchdown for Derrick Henry. He's betting against his own squad, but it's a safe bet. Way to be fair to be confident with that one. James Cook rushing yards is Will. He's planning on 60+ yards. I think that's definitely achievable. RB1 against the Jets. Could believe it. And I'm going to go with Trey McBride, tight end for the Cardinals. And I think it really helps that they're playing Carolina. I'm going with 60+ receiving. So this is going to make you money. Be sure to join us or see who's going to be losing for us and chugging next week. So we appreciate you joining us. We'll be here with picks and reviews next week at noon, as we normally do. We have all these different shows and all these different programs, and you can find them in one central place, and that's at our website. So be sure to head on over to www.rethinktankpodcast.com, where you can catch our Tuesday live show, our Sunday shows, the different podcasts, and everything else. We also want to encourage you to become a part of the Neuro Gym, where you can get involved, become a part of the conversation, and engage with us directly. It's free, and it helps us bring you in as a part of the show. So be sure to head on over there. It's all free in one central place, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.